Okay, so rear 22 millimeter sway bar, white line with white line sway bar brackets and white line adjustable rear sway bar end links. And those adjustable sway bar end links do go for the front. They're kind of like universal. So they can go front or rear. The sway bar, there's the old one. And you guys can see the old one's kind of just like a, what is that? It's not even the quarter inch steel. That's kind of just almost like a 16 gauge almost sheet metal that's been formed and pressed. Yeah. So it's the bar is fine, but the bushings and brackets definitely seen some better days. A lot of that's just could be cleaned up, but there's no way I was gonna get those bolts out if I wanted to. Even if I wanted to just replace the grommets and reuse the bracket. And they say once you start hitting 22 and bigger, you need to replace these brackets right here. So I went ahead and just replaced the brackets to begin with. Now the car, when I hit grooves in the pavement that have been either made by road crews or somebody losing a tire on their fifth wheel, or not fifth wheel, but tractor trailer or whatever, and grooving it into the freaking pavement or asphalt, and you hit those and your car just goes woo, 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 and follows them. It doesn't happen anymore. When I hit the grooved pavement, the car doesn't want to follow the grooves anymore. Why a sway bar would have anything to do with that, I have no clue, but it does. And with the rear being stiffened up now, does not want to follow any lines or grooves in the road, which is awesome. So, and now when I go into a corner, you start taking the corner like that, and it kind of just wants to throw you out of it to the outside of the corner, right? Now I can take the corner and it just wants to stay the corner. It doesn't want to push me to the outside. And there's a notorious on-ramp next to where I live for Winston heading southbound. And doesn't matter, you take the recommended speed and everything, and as you get onto the freeway, right as you hit the apex, the way it's designed, it wants to throw you out of the corner and across 2 lanes of traffic. And you can be doing 55 and it'll do that to any car. With the new rear sway bar, not at all. Doesn't want to happen. Amazing. Love it. Now the sway bar locks. The passenger side is locked in, stayed its course, hasn't moved or wiggled or nothing. Driver's side has moved about an inch. So I'm going to have to go in there and try and figure out how to lock it down, because on the driver's side, you have this hoop. So on the white line, this spot right here is a lot more shallow because the hoop comes further over and then hoops in. So you don't have a lot to put that lock. So it's kind of like in the middle of a bend. So I don't know how I'm going to get that to work out on there. Maybe I'll try and see. It's kind of like if I tried to put it right here right now. But it suggests the locks to be here on both sides, on the inside of both of them. So this one's fine because it's just like this one. It's all nice and straight, so it's not going anywhere. But this one, this hoop comes in deeper. So I don't know. I'm going to try to get that sorted out. And there's something else. Oh yeah, so I forgot. I have the Cartboy short shifter. It's coming with the bushings and everything, so that'll be next. But I also forgot about the IAG transmission mount. So I got that amongst a bunch of other parts, and it never made it here. It must have got lost in shipping or whatever, and I just totally spaced it. So I got another one, but it won't be here until December 29th. So short shifter and transmission mount will go in this car at the same time. And I'll let you guys know because I can't find any videos on YouTube about somebody putting the IAG transmission mount. Everybody's going with like Torque Solutions or a Perrin look-alike or something like that, folded metal and not a billet aluminum. So the reason I went with the IAG and spent the extra $100 is because with the other ones you have to completely disassemble the mount to bolt it in, and then bolt the mount back together, and then bolt the cross member up, the cross mount. So I didn't like that idea. I liked the idea of it going together as one piece and me being able to access all the bolts and stuff in the future and not having to completely tear everything apart to get to the bolts, because one set of bolts overlays another one. So and I also had this like horrible binding happening when I backed up out of my driveway, because it's a pretty steep driveway. Like you head down like this and then it hits and goes out. And also when I was turning sharp, I had some binding and cracking and stuff. Now that that sway bar's in there, it's all gone. So I think a lot of that binding and clicking and stuff had something to do with that, with the sway bar in links. Or maybe the sway bar was binding on the bushings because it wasn't allowing it to slide back and forth because it's so old and rusted and the paint's flaking off. So anyways, I'm thinking about breaking that down and having it powder coated in nice shiny black and possibly giving that away to somebody or something. So yeah, if there's ever a part that I take off this car that somebody wants, hit me up, let me know, and maybe we can work something out. I know I have to work pretty hard to get what I do have, and I'm fortunate enough to have an amazing job, so I work just as hard as anybody else. I just get paid a little bit more probably. So if there's something that can benefit you, like you got a WRX and you want an STI sway bar, let me know. Maybe I'll send it out to you. So anyways, next video, Cartboy short shifter. I already got a Killer Bee knob on mine, so I'm gonna keep the Killer Bee Durlin knob, and I'm gonna go with that IAG transmission mount. So I'll do an unboxing of the mount and show you what it looks like and what I think of it, and then the next video will be of it going in the, I probably won't even make one of going in the car. Well, no, I'll have to because nobody else does one. So yeah, I'll put it going into the car and then reactions of what I think. And that's why I like the IAG, is because a lot of other pitch stop and different mounts. I mean, Grimspeed just came out like last week with the pitch stop that you can change the bushings in to make it like a race one. But IAG has been doing that forever. So that's why I'm also going to get the motor mounts from IAG to slap in there, because you can change them out to solid motor mounts. And I had solid motor mounts in the Honda and it was amazing. So I'm going to go with the race solid motor mounts from IAG. And if I don't like it, 20 more bucks and I'll go to the hardcore street competition or whatever the red ones are.